Okay, so I just want you to introduce yourself because we have more than just bee tanners on the podcast. So just introduce yourself and do your thing.
Hi, so I'm Ashleigh. I am the owner of TC Flexo here in Traverse City, Michigan. I actually moved here from Savannah it's almost been 10 years. I've been a Beettan fan for 10 years because
I can't believe I'm that old.
Yeah.
That's old.
It's getting there, Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just talking with Missy. I have a really successful business up here because of the wedding industry in Traverse City. We're like one of the place for destination weddings, and it's how a lot of businesses make money up here. So I was just lucky enough to start at the right time. There was a need in the community for it. When I was researching the other spray tanners here, they weren't full time with it. And I was like, this community needs it. I'm going to try it out. And I know I can do it. So
God, I'm so glad what you did because you were killing it.
So I kind of set a 5-year goal because when I first started, I was doing mobile and spray tanning out of my house in our master bathroom. And then I was like, I need to have my own space in 5 years. And I ended up reaching that goal in like 2.5 years. So, and like opening my own shop has been a game changer for me.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's so crazy. But I love how you ran with, you started the clientele and you build it up to that. And I love that, you had a target goal of 5 years. But I mean, it goes to show the hard work paid off because you ended up doing it so early.
Mm-hmm. I had to. I don't feel, I can't say I wasn't ready for it because if I wasn't, it wouldn't have happened.
So a lot of the BT babes get on here. I try to steer away from calling them babes because I realized, actually, I don't know if I told you this. I went to a seminar and a woman that I look up to was like, let's stop saying boss babes, girl boss. We're bosses. And I was like, yes, ma'am. The whole business model has been around that. But, a lot of the partners on here, we've got quite a few new ones that want to go full on with this, like you. What advice? Because it's not always fun and games.
Mm-mm.
It's not. And our social media portrays that because we're not going to put the gloom and doom on there. What do you think that as a new sprayer, what can you go back and remember? Because it's been so long since I've done it. What could you say to the new sprayer who's listening to this right now?
My biggest advice is do the trading.
Yeah, right. All of the training, the business training, all of it. Take advantage of it. You pay for it.
Do it. That's the very first thing you should do, and keep doing it. My biggest bit of advice is just focus on what you want to do with the business, because I think sometimes, especially in the beauty industry, a lot of people get caught up in the brand and the service, and they kind of let that become their identity. I'm the spray tan girl and that's my identity, but it's not. And I think if you can grow individually and use, say, Beettan as a tool for your growth, then your success will be endless. Mm-hmm. And really, and I kind of learned that the hard way because I did used to be a part of an MLM, and it was a fitness MLM, and I eat, slept, and breathe company, and it took over, and I lost myself, and then I wasn't happy with it. Mm-hmm. So that's my biggest advice is be true to yourself and be genuine, and don't
have fun with it. You're gonna have slow day. You're gonna have weird things happen. There's no perfect picture that you can paint of any business out there. Every day is going to be great. That just doesn't happen.
I do suffer pretty deeply in January up here because a lot of my clients are out of town because it's really cold up here. A lot of my clients leave, and then the majority of my business in the summer is all out of towners, all tourists or people who are here for weddings. I do have regulars, but my money is like for people who are coming here. And so whenever I slow down or like I have a couple of days that are unusually slow, I just use it as a period to grow. So instead of it being a slow time for me, it's a grow time. Spray tanning is a growing industry and it's new. It's new. Like how professional it's become and how great these solutions are, and like the people that use spray tanning, and the reason of it shifting into skincare, all of this stuff. Like this is just the beginning for spray tanning, and you have to stay ahead of the game, and like you use the slow time to do that, and like connect with people. Like I connect with a lot of doctors' offices here. Like those are the people who send me clients or doctors' offices.
Too. Do you get a lot of like in the skincare? Like I get a lot of dermatologists,
ethnic
surgeons.
Yeah, we recently did a collaboration with a new med spa here, and I got Botox for the first time, and it's just like really nice because it does go hand in hand, because people want to take better care of their appearance and they want to do it in a healthy way. And I think that the spray tanning, especially the brand and
the med spa world, is also a fast growing. I mean, we're all morphing into the same person. I'm just saying that because sometimes you're like, wow, when everyone has filler and Botox, they actually look identical. But the med spa, I'm just making a joke, but the med spa world people are my friends. And the reason is those are the people that are taking care of their skin, that are doing preventative maintenance, and spray tanning fits right in line with that. And those people spend the money, where the tanning bed folks are not, are people.
Yeah. When I lived in San Francisco, this has been 15 years ago, they outlawed UV tanning.
Yeah. Why the heck it hadn't made it to the South is beyond me.
Right.
Like the highest melanoma count that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Not to mention, if you've seen the people years later that lived in tanning beds, that should freak you out right there. Do you think you're any different? I'm not going to call anybody out, but I know a couple of them, my mom's age, just freaky looking.
Yeah.
Mix that with a cigarette, which is my mom's friend. It's a bad outcome. And there's a spray tan that can help you once you've gone too far with that sun damage. There's just no, there's preventative maintenance, but sometimes it goes so far that, like, we've had those clients that they've had so much sun damage, it's almost impossible to even tan with a spray tan because of the previous damage.
Of that, especially because our summer is so short here. We have like 3 months where we can be outside in a swimsuit, and people just really, they take as much advantage of that as they can, and they are just outside naked every day, and they don't protect their skin, and then they need me to fix their tan lines for a wedding, and like my solution doesn't even absorb into their skin because it's so damaged.
It's really funny because months after sun damage, because when I went to Turks and Caicos, I'm ashamed to say, I mean, I went on my first solo trip, so I didn't have any help with the SPF. My back is still discolored from it, and I think I put a picture in the ask that we communicate. My back still gets very splotchy.
It's an immune response from your body. Like sun damage is an injury. I think too, like another bit of advice I made 1,000 business cards, and I went to every single business in downtown Traverse City, introduced myself, and gave them cards. Every restaurant, every storefront, every single.
Like you didn't limit it. You just did every type of business.
I went to where they like put pictures and frames. Like I was like, hey, I'm Ashleigh. This is this. And you know what? I have clients from that work at that frame shop,
Yeah, like don't limit yourself. A connection is a connection is a connection. I always say that person knows 100 people you don't know, guaranteed. You've got to network.
Do as much as I can to network. I was just at a Pride pool party last night. I did henna for the event. And it's like connecting with as many communities as I can. Like everyone knows who I am now. I get asked to do things for people all the time. Like people want me to help them with promotions, or, they want me to come to their office to give their staff spray tans, or they want for their teenage daughters to come in so I can talk to them about the importance of wearing sunscreen. Like that kind of stuff, because
you don't always get a ton of clients and make money at a get together. It's really about networking, and if you make money, that's a plus.
Yeah, because you're just constantly building momentum. When you do have the slow months, like I know that this year I'm not going to be the way I was last year because I was in a huge transition. I just left another beauty studio with a bunch of other girls. I was spray tanning out of my house. I had actually just moved like into the woods. I did have like a really rough transition last year, but I still did better last year than I did the year before. And I was like, oh my God, I'm doing so bad. This and this. And then I looked and I'm like, I did way better than I did the year before. And the year before,
Yeah.
I did great, you know?
I did that I had a call with a partner. We all get in this. It's a funk. I get in a funk too. I'm human. Um, and I freak out. I'm like, why am I so slow? What happened? What's going on? And then if you do look back, you're like, wait, I didn't come this far just to come this far. I am doing better, but it's also good to have goals, but it's good to be present and breathe and take those slow moments to grow exactly what you said. I've gotten more involved on LinkedIn. I was always like, whatever. I don't think I'll ever tweet if I can excuse me. I don't think I'll tweet ever. I'm just not into Twitter. I think it's for like old man politics or some shit. But I've gotten more active on LinkedIn and I've gotten clients on LinkedIn, which I didn't. LinkedIn's actually a cooler place to post because I'll post like, we've been writing our own blogs, which I'm going to teach the girls how to do this too because it's actually fun. Using like an AI app, and then posting it on my personal page and it's getting so much more attention than just a photo with a little blur. People sometimes like a good read.
Yeah, they do.
So I've been posting that on our website. Me and Danielle been working together, and then I post the blog on LinkedIn, and I've gotten hundreds more followers from that. So, but I wouldn't have had the time to do that if I didn't slow down at actually making an impact. So you gotta pour that money from busy season and do some cool stuff in the slower time.
I think the whole ebb and flow of the business too is, like when you're in the throes of busy season and you're like, I will literally spray tan without a break from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Like I shouldn't do that to myself, but like I cannot say if people
one day a week too. At least we can pick that day where we work our tail off.
And the thing is, it's like, I'm like, oh man, I wish I had more time to do this. Like, cause creativity is like real, like being able to be creative is just how I like relax and all that stuff. I wish I had more time to be creative. And it's just like, well, I can be creative. Like I have my own space. I can do whatever I want with it. And like, I think that's the other thing that I have never felt burnt out from spray tanning. I'll literally spray tan 25 people in one day by myself, Me
neither. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's like the energy that person takes away, the feel good. I wonder if that's what it is.
Because every time I have a client, I get to be creative with them and like sharing something that makes me, creativity is like what drives me, and like being able to share that with someone, they're like my muse, that's
that's well said. Yeah.
I think because I do get that creativity, like I have that outlet that helps me to relax. I just never get burnt out. There has never been a day where I wake up and I'm like, I'm just going to cancel these spray tans.
Never
happened. I used to think that I loved bartending and being in the service. Then when I started doing this, I'm like, oh my God, this just fills my cup. It completely fills my cup because I can be creative. I don't have to hang out with someone for more than 10 minutes.
And now it's fun to be on the patron side of the bar and celebrate the wins. And I never feel like after a long day, I really, truly do not feel like this from this business. At the end of the day, when I have had those long days, sometimes here during wedding season, I'll work 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on a Wednesday or Thursday just to make it all happen. And I never feel like, my God, I never really I'll have a client, we all have those troublesome clients, but the end result is always the same. They leave feeling better. And I usually have celebratory tired days, not, man, that today sucked. It's usually like, man, I'm tired, but what a good day.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. It's not draining. It's like always like giving. It's for me, and like that's how I like to work my business, because I always said I was going to be a business owner. I've worked for a lot of different people who have different like styles of running their business. And I spent my life just accumulating information from places that I've worked, and I'll either never do that here or I'll do a version of that here. And it's just really nice to, like, who knew? I used my tax return to buy into Beettan because I was like, I just need something extra to do if I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. And who knew that 2 years later I would just be
Thriving with it. That's the main reason I wanted you to be on the podcast, because I know that there are a lot of women out there that want to get where you are. And, we can make all the excuses in the world. I'm going to say we, because I'm not calling anybody out, but I just want, because we are a family where we are, I believe we're all one in the world, but like specifically to Beettan, you can't blame it on the area. You can't blame it. You just have to study your market, study your customer, and do the work.
the town that I live in, like we're a population of 90,000 people. I would say Grand Traverse County is probably the size of Chatham County.
Mm-hmm.
First started, I was like, what am I doing? I was like, all the girlies up here, they like hiking and kayaking and riding mountain bikes and being outdoors. I was like, they wear Carhartts. I was like, these girls are not going to get spray tans. But you know what? I am so happy that I have all these girls wearing Carhartts coming in here and getting a
Right. And you are your thoughts too. So I went with the customer feedback and I started taking the positive feedback and repeating the positive feedback, believing the positive feedback, and just ignoring all those crazy thoughts in my head.
So I started doing marketing I use Square for my sales system, and I started doing marketing with them. And one thing that they do is 2 days after a customer has a spray tan, it sends them a text message to leave me a Google review. And views have been going up, but I haven't been reading them because every time I get on a Google, I cannot stop crying.
It is so special.
So now, like, whenever I have a new client, which is pretty much everyone's new right now because it's still wedding season, I have a lot of makeup artists that refer me. I even have makeup artists in Detroit that refer people to me. So I'm having girls drive to me from Detroit to get a spray tan, which is 4 hours away. So we need a spray tan girly in Detroit.
Yes, we do. I love Detroit too.
It's so cool. It is a cool place, and I think it would.
And it's grown so much. It's got some crazy history. I love that place.
Detroit has such a cool style, and I
love it.
Yeah, it's a cool place. But the thing is like because of my Google reviews, I'm having girls drive to me from 4 hours away. I have people, like, when I do big mobile tans, that people
are cool
that will pay for me to drive to them. Like, if I had to drive 2 hours away, that's a $200 spray tan,
Yeah, that's amazing. And people will do it, especially when they know it's good.
And I spray tan the way that I learned in the very first training from the YouTube video. Like, that's how I spray tan.
Yeah, it's so funny to me. The two things that drive me crazy, I think there's a way to like get your own flow with things for sure. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I have not changed anything. Like, I do it the exact way that And the other thing is people find their own way to fold the tent, and then they'll call me and say that the bar came through the stitching. And I'm like, you got to fold it like I taught you to. None of mine break. Like, but I never get mad because I get it. I like when they go off on their own and like try to find a new way. Or I've been there where like I was folding that tent up and the tent, like, it was wrestling with me and the client's looking at me. So I've been on all sides of it, so I get it. But I love that you just stuck with the way it was originally trained and really kind of understood that I'm not even being bossy. I've done it every way that there is possible, and that's the best way.
We learn through like imitation sometimes, and like I bought into Beettan because I sat back and I watched. I wanted to do it for so long, and I watched for like a year and a half, and there was nothing negative about it. And I kept telling my husband, I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to spray tan. And he was just kind of already like, like, you got this MLM stuff.
I know. I hate that husbands think we're MLM all the time.
Got burned doing this MLM stuff. And I was making money doing it. It wasn't bad. I just worked all the fucking time. Like, I never worked. And so he was just kind of like, he was worried it was going to be something like that. And it did take footwork. But the thing is like, when I first started, like, I had 2 babies and I would just sit the time aside and I would make a plan. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go talk to these people today. I'm going to send out an email to these people. I made a list of every single wedding planner in Traverse City, and I made up this like cute little email on Canva with my services, and I had bridal packages, and I emailed it to all of them. That was like, so I started my business in January, and wedding season starts here in May. So I spent like those 5 months just like the wedding.
Because the wedding parties decide prior how they're going to do everything. They're excited. They need to plan everything because they have a lot to plan. That was so smart of you to do.
Yeah.
Don't get in wedding season and market. Go do it before.
Yeah. Wedding planners, any kind of like event planner.
And then the doctors, that was such good advice.
Yeah.
That's exactly. You literally do all the same things that I do. And Beettan is definitely a 6-figure business and has been
That's
for
like
4 years.
6 figures next year.
Definitely will. You're on the track there 100%.
I might do it this year. I might.
Just keep saying you are. You will. You're so close.
Yeah. I told my husband, I was like, in the next 2 years, I was like, I'm going to retire you because he's like, he can be my accountant. Like I need for him here, like helping me, and it would just be easier for us with the kids. But I'm like, I'm going to retire you in 2 years. I was like, I already made than you did last year. So
yeah,
it would be nice.
And in half the time, and we're not bashing MLMs on here. I've signed up to do Savvy because I love the clothes and I love what their brand stands for, and I love the owner. I'm not in the top of it. I mostly just love the product and I love what the company stands for. So I'm not bashing the MLM, but I will say you can make more money in a smaller amount of time with spray tanning. Yeah. So we're so far from an MLM, but it's a service-based business that's yours. There's no percentage. There's no team. We're just a community that helps each other that are all using the same product.
I made my investment. So I bought it in December. I got all of my stuff in by January. And by the end of February, I had already made back what I had invested into.
Yeah, it's so easy.
And I know. In February in northern Michigan where there's like 12 feet of snow,
So there's no excuse. Just do the work. We have some girls that are, and everyone's mindset is different. Like you really wanted to go for it. Some of the girls are excited about it. Then they get their kit and then they stall and they stall and they stall. And then they get in their head, which I do. I'll be honest. Like I get it. I did that when I started real estate. I did that when I had to put out my first product. I did that. We all have that second guess little voice in our head, and you just have to overpower it because if you don't try, you'll never know. And there's nobody out there like Ashleigh's not better than you. I'm not better than you. Some of the girls that are like hustling and bustling, no one's better than you. It's you that's usually getting in your own way. You can do it.
I tell people too, because they're just like, oh, I don't have any customers. I don't have this, or, even when I'm talking to other friends, because I've kind of become a mentor to a handful of people here in the beauty community. They're not spray tanners. And I always tell people like, you're not failing. Like we have all made mistakes. I sure as heck know that when I first started, my very first spray tan party was a disaster. I sprayed those girls so heavy because they're all like, we want to be dark. And they were like, really full. I wanted to show off to them. And you know what? Their feet were so messed up. And I was like, I am never spray tanning like that ever again. I'm only going to do what Michelle said in that video.
Also, it wastes so much product. Like I want you to get your money's worth. It's just not necessary. And it's just asking for trouble. That's like, so funny.
It takes me 20 minutes to spray tan someone. It takes me 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
those, it's kind of crazy how you can train your customers if you just educate them. You'll always get those people that come in and say, I want to be dark, but that's far and few between with me now. But now that they understand the science behind it, if they want to be darker for an event, they ask for the DHA drops in there. But I'd say like 1 in 50 clients ask for the darkening drops. 1 in 50 ask for, now that they understand the whole process of it.
And the prepping too. Like when I first started, I used to send out like, I would text message all of my clients the next day with like a prep guide from my phone. And I'm like, it's like, hey, this is Ashleigh. I'm confirming your appointment tomorrow at this time. Like, I'm excited to see you. Let me know if you have any questions. And then I would send them like an infographic picture, how to prep, what to wear, and then aftercare. And I did that by hand for the longest time. Like and then the next day I would text those people, hey, how's your spray tan doing? So because I can't send out 100 texts every day, but now automated. So I have a system that does it for me and everyone still gets that information. I have not had any complaints about spray tans this year since I set that automation up, and everyone's wearing the right thing when they come here. And everyone, like, the next day, they're just like, my tan is flawless. It's perfect.
That's the best thing. And I teach it in the training too. I teach that in the training, but I think continually having the successful sprayers on here like you, just to reiterate, to just really I need reminders. No one's in trouble here. These are just suggestions that work. And if you do them, it makes that, okay, so sitting the prep and then checking on your client has so many benefits to it. They know you care. They feel special that you took the time to do that. Then they're prepped and ready.
Yeah.
It's a ripple effect. They feel very well taken care of. It takes your business to the next level, and you're more high end, and then you can charge more because they feel like they're getting what they paid for. You're creating that environment for your customers where they won't go anywhere else because of the way that they're treated.
Yeah. And the thing too is, like, whatever system you use for your clients, it is smart to, like, use a system. Don't take money on Venmo and stuff. Like, set up a POS.
You're setting your business up to work for you instead of you working for it. That's exactly what these automations, there's a reason. There's only so much a person can do. You need the help.
It's so worth it. But, like, I take notes, and there's, like, a notes section. And so, when if I book an appointment online with them, like, I always ask them, like, hey, is there an event you're getting ready for? Are you just getting a spray tan for a spray tan? Is it like are you curious? I have a lot of people get spray tans because they're curious. And I put that in their notes. I have clients that have been with me from day one, and, like, I'm just, like, reading back through their notes. And now they come in here, like, they are ready for a spray tan. They always look so good. They're visible in the community. They always send people to me. And it's just like reading just back through the notes, like, oh, she decided to shave her legs the day after her spray tan, and now her legs look like this. And, like, I leave notes on everything.
That is so smart. And then before they come in the next time, the mistake that they made the first time, and they feel, because life is crazy and we know more about the product and the outcome than they do. So you've got to educate them. That's so smart. I use Vagaro. It has the same notes. A good booking system is so important.
If they come in again, I'm like, oh, I spray tanned them for a vacation last time. So then I'm like, I know I can talk to them about their vacation, and so just for me, like, I like to be prepared when I have clients come in because they're going to be vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable service.
Very intimate service for sure.
The more, like, the closer you are with them and the more you can connect with them and, like, show them that you do care and that they're in a safe space, then the better your services are going to be. Like, if you read my reviews, you will see that.
So I encourage everyone to look up TC Glow Co. in Traverse City, Michigan. Also look up Beettan in Savannah. Look at our reviews. We are literally doing the same thing. I cannot say this enough. Ashleigh went in, she did the training, not only the spray tan training, she listened to the business coaching. Actually, I don't even like calling it coaching. I'm literally just sharing things that are working for me.
And just have fun with it. The one thing I never did was I never second guessed myself. Like, I would do that spray tan and I would feel so confident about it. And I think that whenever you're like being confident in front of your client, and, like, biggest thing, I always compliment my clients. I tell them how radiant they are. I'm like, damn girl, that spray tan looks so good. Like, your booty looks so good. Just, like, giving them pouring compliments into them and just, like, giving them love. Like I always say it, like, made with beats, sprayed with love.
Yeah, it's so it really is. And and again, read our reviews because they both portray that. I'll tell you a quick story before we wrap up. It was this year. It was like pre-summer, so I think it was springtime. This beautiful chocolate brown girl comes in. And I know I've sprayed all colors of people. And it wasn't weird for me. One of my dear friends, Jasmine, she moved, but she was a stripper and she would come get spray tan, and she's one of the darkest women I ever met. And she did it because it evened her skin tone out. She would do it because it evened her skin tone out. They gave her a glow, and she liked the shade of chocolate it made her. So this beautiful young girl comes in, and no questions asked, I sprayed her. She left, and immediately after I saw the Google ding, and she was like, it's so sweet. She's like, most of the time people look at me like I'm crazy because I'm a Black woman coming in to get a spray tan. And apparently I was the third person that had sprayed her. Like my employees had sprayed her prior. She said, this was my third time, and not once has anyone looked at me strange at this location, at this business. And it brought tears to my eyes because I was just doing my job and trying to make her feel lovely and beautiful in her own skin and equal to everyone. So no matter how old, what size, what skin tone, what skin kind, what skin color, where you from, who you with, like, I don't care. We're all one when you come into my door, and I want you to walk out feeling more confident than you walked in.
I will give anyone a spray tan. I mean, I do like research some people when they pop up because I'm like, this is a strange name, and then I'm like, okay, whatever.
I think it's safe to do that too, because we do. I wish the world was a wonderful place. There are some. So sometimes that's also an important thing to bring up about researching, paying attention to your booking system. I was not paying attention, and I noticed that the husband, in the notes, they wrote that they were going to be nude. Well, that day I had a 17-year-old work in the store. It was a Saturday, so I couldn't have a 17-year-old spray a grown-ass man naked. So I had to quickly get something else figured out. But I wish I had paid attention to that scheduling system prior to the day of and read those notes. So you just never know what weird situation is going to creep up, and you want to be prepared.
I'm very aware. And at first I was a little hesitant to get back onto Facebook when I started my business because I kind of stepped away from that platform for a while. And it's like I do look up the majority of my clients on social media, especially if I'm going to be traveling to them like an hour away. Like,
absolutely. Especially for a mobile appointment. Feel it out. Absolutely. If I ever get, that's something else we can touch on too real quick, is if I ever get a weird feeling or I'm like, whatever, I will have a friend come with me and buy her a glass of wine after. Like, I don't go alone. And there were times I had a gut feeling and it was nothing. I showed up and it was great. But, you have to be safe, especially when you start to get employees and you're sending them out. You have to teach the safety. I've had a spray tan business for almost 20 years now, but Beettan's 9 years. And I have, knock on wood, I had one creepy guy once, and I think the bartender and me dealt with it like exactly like I was supposed to.
I had a creepy client once, and I just like sprayed him one time, and I was like, all right, you're done, get out of here.
Yeah, I pretended that there was somebody in the next room. I was talking to no one when that happened to me. And then I was like, never again. I'm going to read my booking system. I'm going to call new clients. If they don't have a full-on female name, and it can go both ways, I'll call. Mm-hmm. I have a girl named Frank, and she's cute as shit. But I didn't know. There was like somebody else. It's happened a couple of times. And then I have men that come in that are full on straight, that are nude. They care about their tan lines too. So I don't mind spraying them naked, but I straight up with my 2 employees, I'll ask. And if they're not comfortable, I'll make sure that client comes to me.
Yep. I'm the same way. That's why I do the research, because if I don't feel comfortable, I'm just like, leave your underwear on, like.
Well, it's just because there are people coming to you, and it's so easy in this digital world to like not see people as people and just go through the motions. And once the money starts rolling in, I'm guilty of it, just being like client, money, bye. But at the end of the day, they're people that are coming in. They're real people, and they are coming in to do a service. And adding that, getting prepared and knowing more about them. And I'm going somewhere with this. I learned at this big business seminar like 5 years ago when I was trying to grow my online presence, like sell more of the products online as I got more and more retail products. They said you have to know your customer. They meant even your online customer. There's like an algorithm that studies what people, but us, and with a service-based business, the rules still apply. You have to know your customer, and it's going to help you excel in the business that you have if you truly know that client. Not just their outward, their inward, and they will never go anywhere else because they will be loyal forever.
They really will. They really will. I think I have almost 100 regulars that I see every week, and I've been spray tanning these ladies and gentlemen for the past 3 years. Like, without fail. They haven't gone to anyone else. They'll go to another Beettan person if they travel and they need a spray tan.
And when you have that one client, like this, what Ashley's saying is so important, because those clients are what make your business, not the client that complains, not the one client that's come twice and complains. Let them go.
Yeah.
Give that good client the good client. Give that regular client the client that's giving you. Think about how much money they've spent. Think about how much they've trusted you and how loyal they've been. It is so easy as a business owner to let that one problem just take over your thoughts and energy. And really, the people that deserve our energy are the people in everything in life, are the people that are for us. Like, I'm not, I think it's the survival mode in our brain where we will fixate on fixing something that's wrong. But I've just really had to practice as a business owner. I've really had to practice being present and happy with what I have now. There you are.
Yeah.
You came back. It's going to be amazing how much she can edit this. I don't know what's up with the Wi-Fi today. That's the reason it's went over, because it keeps going away like every few minutes.
I am also like across from the airport here in this area. And like, even though we have Wi-Fi, our connection is the absolute worst.
Well, I think we should have you on again. I think it should be like a quarterly thing. We can regroup, talk about our businesses. What I really love about you, well, obviously I love you as a person, and I love that you trusted Beettan. And thank you so much for being loyal. Thank you for being someone I can look at and smile on a daily basis, whether it's on your social media. Like, my heart is full of just pride and gratefulness. And it really has been a pleasure and a testament to that. Some things I'm doing right, watching you. But I really like how you're in a whole different part of the nation, and that we can really prove through our success that it doesn't, like, it works no matter where it is. And I really want to encourage women in all business that their hard work pays off. And I would like to just keep up with each other quarterly. There's a few of you that I just want to have on here quarterly, and us get together and talk all things business. Because even though it might be repetitive, sometimes we just need to repeat it to stay in line.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is, like, if I ever feel like I'm being challenged or something keeps repeating itself and it's not what I align with, I'm like, okay, time to go back to the basics.
I know exactly what you're saying. All right, well, I love you so much, and I'll plan another time to get on here with you. But you've really, I can't thank you enough for how you represent the brand, and I love the name of your brand and your logo. It just really has been, it's just been so awesome to watch you grow and thrive. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for this opportunity. Who knew spray tan?
Who knew? I know, right? Who knew? Here we are, just a family of spray tan ladies.